So we've now added login persistence. Let's log in here. And if we refresh the page, it will then log us in automatically. Now the way this is done is in Firebase there's a method to change the set persistence. So this method here will take a local session, or I think it's just one-time passwords. Anyway, if it's session, it will persist across the tab. So if you close the tab, it won't be logged in anymore. Local will actually save data in IndexedDB, and there's an entry here for the user. And then on when the page starts up again, we do initialize app, and then the way we check to see if somebody's logged in is that there's a on-auth state change thing. So when you initialize Firebase, it will actually check to see if a user's in local storage, if you're set in with this, and then it will retrieve it, and then I can then persist that to my store. So what I do is I have an init function here. I get the current user using this method, and then I will set the Svelte store with the user from Firebase. Now I've changed this method a little bit, and that when you do a user get current user, you don't have to do user.user to get the property of the user out. So I've pretty much flattened this way of retrieving it, so that then it looks the same as user from Netlify now, because it's just a one level object, if that makes sense. And we've also added in logout. So logging out will actually not remove the IndexedDB, which I thought it would in the first place. Actually, it just changes some setting in here, and so that when you do get current user, there's no user return from IndexedDB. I'm not too sure if this is safe to have this in IndexedDB, this information, but you guys that are Firebase experts can advise me on that, what your guys' process is. So anyway, let me just show you the sign out function here. So when they click on logout on that button, there's a method called logout. And where is it? So what we do here is we have Firebase auth.signout, and that just gives us a promise. And then when that's successful, we just set the user store to undefined. I guess that's null. It could be null as well, and that will then trigger the functionality that toggles these navigation items, or this, with the email displayed here. Now the other thing I also did was I added the recover account. So if we're going to sign in, and we put in click here and type email, click recover account, it sends us there's this method on Firebase called, well, it's not that, it's called Firebase auth send password to set email. It takes an email address, and that's kind of cool, is that it will go off and send you an email to your Gmail or whatever it is, and then you click on that link, and then it takes you to a Firebase hosted thing where you can reset the email. With Netlify, it would take us back into the app, and I had to write a wrapper for that functionality, and that wrapper used to be within the store. So it used to be within the app.js. I had some functionality here, but I moved this out into the store for Netlify, because that basically, this code doesn't need to be included in the Firebase app. So excuse the dog barking there. And so this logic is just used when this Netlify user store is imported here. So it's like self-imposed code splitting, or whatever you call that, to reduce the memory imprint. So anyway, I'll just show you what the email looks like. You go to your email address. So you get an email that looks like this, and you click on this link, and you can go in here and then set a new password. Quite simple. Okay, so that is, we're almost up to the point where we're just going to cover some of the changing the settings, and then we'll be exploring some new content for both the Netlify and Firebase app, which will be quite exciting.